So hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 Zombies video on my channel. Today we are going to be revisiting the giant trailer because I have spotted something which is awesome and creepy at the same time. I really don't have an explanation behind this, but hopefully you guys can help me out in the comment section below. As always, if you do enjoy the video, if you could drop me a like rating, that'd be awesome, and let's get straight into it. So this is very hard to notice, and I'm surprised if anyone has ever found this before, but if you take a look at the giant trailer, you can hear voices in the background, talking to Richtofen or telling Richtofen to do things.
Richtofen! Whatever you're thinking of doing, don't do it!
You cannot begin to comprehend the great evil you could unleash!
So just in case you guys didn't hear it, we will go over it again, but this is very creepy. We have these whispers, these voices talking to Richtofen. Note, this is the older version of him, not the Origins things. But the three things that are said is we did it, help me, and press it. So here's the first one. The voice says we did it. Note, this is just after Richtofen presses the button. You hear the alarm go off, and you hear the voice say we did it.
Richtofen! Whatever you're
This whisper clearly wants Richtofen to press this button, activate it, open up the teleporter, because the next thing it says is press it, just before Richtofen is about to open the teleporter door. Now the last one is very hard to make out. From what I got, it says help me. This is happening as soon as the Origins version of Richtofen walks out of the teleporter to meet the older version of himself. The help me whisper seems to be saying this to the older version of Richtofen, saying, you know, help me from maybe the younger version, help me from something, help me with something, I really have no idea. And as Richtofen is about to shoot himself, the voices or the whispers go louder and go on for even longer. So there we go, those were the three things that I heard. But the question now is, why or what are these whispers talking to Richtofen, and why are they telling him to open this teleporter, press this button, and then when finally Richtofen walks out, this one is very difficult to hear, but they are possibly saying help me. So let's take a further look into this. By the way, if you are enjoying the video and haven't already dropped a like rating, if you could do that for me, that'd be amazing. I really do appreciate any support that you guys leave me. Also, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So what are these voices possibly in Richtofen's head? This possibly could be Richtofen talking to himself, or this is us hearing his thoughts. He says push it. Richtofen knows he wants to. The other characters are telling him not to do it, not to do whatever he is going to do. This could be Richtofen telling himself to push the door. The voice also says we did it, meaning, you know, Richtofen again talking to himself, saying that he did it. We, as in, well, usually would mean two people. Who was the other person? I'm not sure. But then when Richtofen sees himself walking out of the teleporter, he's also saying to himself, help me. The way that the voice actually says it makes it sound like Richtofen is in danger. From the trailer, it really doesn't look like that. Richtofen, as we know, his older self, really isn't scared of anything. He doesn't give a shit. That's why he was my favorite character, especially in his older form. So for him to be saying help me to himself, as in he's in danger, doesn't make too much sense, but possibly he could mean it as in he wants his other form, his other version of Richtofen, himself basically, to actually, well, help himself. Although from what we can gather, the older version of Richtofen didn't know that the younger version of himself was going to walk out of the teleporter. I doubt he would want to bring him to the future to kill himself. We know that the Origins version actually came forward in time himself because he wanted to change future events, but that could be one of the possibilities. This is Richtofen just talking to himself, and we can hear his thoughts. I mean, we do know that the Giant Order is a Group 935 research facility built on a massive source of Element 115, and Element 115 actually makes people go crazy or not like they usually should be. Obviously, it is used to infect the zombies as well. And we do know as we progress further on in rounds through the Giant, our Origins characters who are actually perfectly sane in Origins start to turn evil, or not evil as such, but more to their older forms, where Nikolai is a drunk, Dempsey is just an old grumpy prick. Joking, I love you, Dempsey. You know, the characters really don't like each other, and Richtofen is just plain crazy, whereas in Origins, he's actually a lot different, more sane, and is willing to cooperate. So this could just be that Richtofen is crazy, and well, we already know that he was. This is his older self. He is exposed to Element 115, so that could just be the reason. But I think possibly possibly it could be a lot more than that. You can see Treyarch have done very well to hide this. I found you guys. But they have done a very good job at hiding this. They clearly didn't want us to see it. What if this has something to do with the Apothicons, the Cthulhu mythos, with the Shadow Man? We know this is taking a massive part in our zombie storyline right now. In fact, we know in the Giant that Richtofen actually has this special artifact. He has the summoning key. Bearing in mind, this is the Origins version of Richtofen who has this, but the Apothicons still exist at the time when we can see this cutscene. The Shadow Man still exists. The Apothicons actually want this summoning key, and we do know that in Der Eiserdrache, they will be back to get it off Richtofen. We know that Takeo can hear the Shadow Man talking to him in his head. We know the Shadow Man is a manipulator, and we actually know that the Shadow Man is inside of the summoning key that the Origins version of Richtofen has. Possibly, this is the Shadow Man talking to Richtofen inside his head. That possibly could be one of the explanations. Whoever is talking to Richtofen inside of his head, if it's someone else, if it's him, they clearly want him to open up this teleporter. And why would they want him to do that if they knew that Richtofen was going to be killed? I don't know, there really could be a few different explanations behind it, although it is very interesting and actually seems to be something people haven't spotted. I think you guys, as always, will do an awesome job as to put your theories behind this and just put in the comment section below whatever you actually think of this. What do you make of it? What is this voice? Why are they telling Richtofen to open up this teleporter? And then why is it saying, help me? Is this Richtofen talking to himself? Is it the other version of himself talking to him? Are these his thoughts? Is it someone else? I really don't know, but it's crazy. As always, if you have enjoyed the video, if you could drop me a like rating, that'd be so amazing, guys. You guys are brilliant. We're almost at 150,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the support. If we could go for a goal of 1 billion like ratings, yeah, I'm just going to put it out there. I know we can do it. You guys are awesome. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for more daily zombies content. And as always, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.